Welcome to The Phantom of the Opera, a 20th century romance by Gaston Marot. The play has been adapted into several films, and today I'll be reviewing the 2004 musical by Joel Schumacher.
An auction is being held in the Para Opera House. The opera has been shut down for some while and is going out of business. Auctioning off the props is a last-minute attempt to make some money. Amongst the items is a stuffed monkey playing the cymbals sitting on top of a music box. An old gentleman in a wheelchair buys the monkey and clings onto it dearly. When we open the next box to the Grand Chandelier, we are taken back in time to a fantastic performance of the great play and classic tragedy Hannibal. A rehearsal is taking place, but the manager is leaving. What for, you may ask? He's going to Australia and leaving Gilles Andre and Richard Fermin in charge. When rehearsal resumed, a stage prop mysteriously fell on the lead diva Carlotta. Bam! She storms out, refusing to sing. The ballet instructor tells Christine, one of the dancers, to take on the part. The girl, hesitatingly, takes on the new part, completely new to singing, and makes jaws drop with a stunning performance. Despite her breakout performance, Christine is saddened by the song as she goes to the chapel to pray to her late father. Meg, her best friend and fellow dancer, is astonished by Christine's singing prowess and comes to comfort her and asks where her talents came from. Christine's childhood friend and longtime supporter of the opera, Raoul, pays her a visit after recognizing her from the audience. Raoul claims he is the one who taught Christine her vocals. The Phantom becomes very angry at Raoul, who believed he was rightfully the one responsible for Christine's enchanting voice, when really, the Phantom had magically made Christine's voice alluring. The Phantom brings Christine to the mirror and down to his lair beneath the opera house, drawing her in slowly with his voice. She unmasks the Phantom, who responds in anger, knocking her to the ground. He yells and screams, scaring Christine. However mad he was, the Phantom was still vulnerable underneath, and tears began dripping down his face. Before long, he was fully crying, wishing he didn't have such an ugly face and could win over Christine. Acknowledging his defeat, he then returns her to the surface. The directors are suspicious and upset that Christine had gone so long. What had happened to her? What's more interesting? Letters were delivered to the opera, instructing the managers to put Christine in the lead role of the upcoming opera. What's more? These letters were signed O.G. Opera Ghost. These directors made a huge mistake. They put Carlotta back into the lead part and gave Christine a silent role. The Phantom was absolutely furious. He disables Carlotta's voice, swapping her voice dampener with acid and making her sound like a toad, forcing Christine to take the lead role. When Christine is getting ready for rehearsal to begin, Bouquet, the security guard, finds the Phantom. His instincts kick in as he desperately scrambles to escape. Unfortunately, in the process, he is caught and hung in the stage in front of the entire crew. This horrified Christine, and she ran out to find Raoul, where he comforts her. This display of love shocked the Phantom. He was expecting Christine to fall in love with him, and certainly not Raoul. 3 months passed Bouquet's death, and since Carlotta had been disabled, the opera house was back into full operation, free from the interference of the Phantom. During the masquerade, however, the Phantom makes another appearance, interrupting the managers in presenting his new opera, Don Juan. As with everything with the Phantom, it wasn't without a twist. The Phantom gave an ultimatum. Either accept the new opera and follow his instructions, or suffer his wrath. The directors grudgingly accepted while being held at sore point. Christine goes to visit the graveyard of her father to contemplate. The Phantom arrives and tries to lure Christine. The valiant Raoul sees this, and the two clash in a dramatic sword fight.
They seem like equals, deadlocked in a match duel. However, Raoul manages to eventually overpower the Phantom as he succumbs to Raoul's blade. Swearing to get revenge, the Phantom was left in the graveyard sulking his defeat. As the days of the performance of Don Juan approach, the cast becomes jittery and irritable. Raoul and the directors hold a suspicion that the Phantom will make an appearance. Wary of his possible presence, they set up a trap. A troubled Christine objects. If she participated in this trap, the Phantom would surely get his revenge. But she decides to just move on. The curtains open, revealing Christine as the play begins. Little does she know that Raoul's suspicions are confirmed. Backstage, the Phantom kills the actor of Piangi, taking his leading role in the play. Just an inch closer to Christine he wanted, as she openly expresses her love to the Phantom. The Phantom replies with a melody of his own. At this point, a dismal Raoul realizes Christine's heart has moved on to the Phantom. Acknowledging his fate, he turns back and leaves the crowd. The Phantom's passion gave him courage. He took off his mask for the audience to reveal his hideous face. In a valiant act, he cut the lines to the chandelier, bringing the magnificent crystals crashing down and setting the opera house on fire. As the people fled, the Phantom and Christine escaped through the stage door. He proposed to Christine following the play, offering her to stay with him. Meanwhile, a desperate Raoul treads through deep water, risking his life to reach the Phantom's lair and save Christine. The blunt Phantom lays down a deal. Either Christine stays with the Phantom and Raoul leaves unscathed, or she refuses and escapes at the expense of Raoul's life. The girl wisely chooses the former, and she kisses the Phantom passionately, proving he is not alone. Neither Christine nor the Phantom realized that this kiss would move him so much. This little act of love made him realize the horrors and crimes he committed, all for a girl. Deaths and heartbreaks ruthlessly. In an act of selflessness, he decides to free them both. Raoul, relieved, boards the boat hastily to leave. But a lonely Christine and Phantom lock eyes for the last time. Months of the ebbing and flowing of love, seemingly washed away with the waters of fate. Christine huddled in a corner of the boat, and could only dream of what her life could be, if only she had stayed with the Phantom. The current gently pulled the boat out of the darkness of the depths. When the workers returned to the lair, all they found was the Phantom's mask. Time takes us back to the old man, leaving the auction house for the cemetery. He lays the monkey music box down gently on Christine's grave. And he looks down and notices a rose tied with a black ribbon in the ring the Phantom gave to Christine, realizing that the Phantom still loves her. This man was none other than the devastated Raoul.